it is Monday and it's the start of a new week, and this week it is Sprintathon week and I'm really excited. So this is a readathon hosted by Pris, and I will leave a link to Pris's channel in the description box down below if you want to go and check her out. I would highly recommend, she's amazing. And this week I have 3 books on my TBR and I'm excited about them all, and I am hoping to get to them all. So the prompts for this readathon are really simple. One of them is to read a book under 300 pages, another one is to read an intimidating book, another one is to read an anticipated book. So for me, I am going to be reading Diddly Squat by Jeremy Clarkson for the book under 300 pages. This is 206 pages long. It's very short indeed, and I have already started it. I'm currently 50 pages in and I'm really enjoying it. This is a collection of Jeremy Clarkson's short stories that he wrote essentially while he was working on his farm for the first time last year during the pandemic, and it's very interesting. If you've watched his Netflix show, I would recommend if you haven't, because it's a very informative and really good. There's a comedic value obviously because it's Jeremy Clarkson, but it's incredibly informative as far as agriculture and farming is concerned, and I would highly recommend. It does give you a lot of information, but I really enjoy it. So this is a collection of some of the stories that he wrote for newspaper, and it's a year on the farm essentially, and so far really enjoying it, very funny, and I'm loving it. So that's what I'm reading for the book under 300 pages. For my intimidating read, I am going to pick up Guild by Raven Kennedy. I am reading this one as my intimidated read because although it is under 300 pages and could have counted for that prompt, I am a little bit nervous about it. I have heard mixed things. I've heard that overall the series is great, but this one is the worst one in the series. So I've heard mixed things. There are mixed reviews on Goodreads, etc. This is one of my Patreon buddy reads for the month of November and December, so I will be doing them a spoilery filled reading vlog, as well as reading it during this, which will be spoiler free obviously, and won't be given as much information. But this is The Myth of King Midas reimagined, which shows the dark side of greed through the eyes of the woman he gold touched. The compelling adult fantasy series is as addictive as it is unexpected. With romance, intrigue and danger, the gilded world of Aurea will grip you from the very first page. So I am looking forward to it, but I am also intimidated because I'm concerned I may not get through it because I have zero patience. If I'm not enjoying a book, I'm going to DNF it, especially at this time of the year when you've only a couple of weeks left of the year and you're wanting to fit in those last few reads. So hopefully I'll get through it. It is only short, which should help me, and I have heard good things. It's just that there's mixed things as well. So this is for my intimidated read. And for my most anticipated read, I am going to be picking up Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, which I've been wanting to read since it came out. So I am excited to pick this one up. This is the Illumicrate edition with the special sprayed edges. And I am really looking forward to this one because I have loved The House in the Cerulean Sea, and I have also enjoyed The Extraordinaries as well by TJ Klune. So I am looking forward to this one. This one is following Wallace. When a reaper comes to collect Wallace from his own sparsely attended funeral, Wallace is outraged, but he begins to suspect she's right and he is in fact dead. Then when Hugo, owner of the most peculiar tea shop, promises to help him cross over, Wallace reluctantly accepts the truth. Yet even in death he refuses to abandon his life, even though he spent all of it working. But as Wallace drinks tea with Hugo and talks to his customers, he wonders if he's been missing something. The feeling grows as he shares jokes with the resident ghost, manifests embarrassing footwear and notices the stars. So when he's given 1 week to pass through the door to the other side, Wallace sets about living a lifetime in just 7 days. It sounds so interesting. Somebody did mention in my festive readathon sprints this week that this reminds them a little bit of Christmas Carol, and I love that story. So I am really looking forward to this one as well, and it is very highly anticipated for me. It could even possibly be a 5-star prediction from me. So really looking forward to this one as well. So that is my TBR for the week, and I'm very excited about reading all of these. So yeah, hopefully I'll get through them all. Obviously these two are relatively short, both under 300 pages. This one is just over, or quite a bit over, 373, so it's not too bad. So yeah, those are my reads for the week. So that is what I'm planning on doing this week, and yeah, hopefully I get to take part in some of the sprints and things like that. But I'm going to go and continue reading for a little bit, and then I will check back in with you later.
the next day.
Hello, it is Tuesday and it is later on in the evening. It's currently 22:09 in the evening. I was supposed to be on sprints tonight for Sprintathon, but I've had a tough couple of days. My grandpa has not been well and was rushed into hospital last night. So it's been a tough couple of days. We've been pretty stressed as a family. He was rushed into hospital just before Thomas's christening a few weeks ago, and he ended up missing the christening. Then he was in for a lot longer than he thought he would be. I think he was in for about 5 days in total, because he ended up with norovirus while he was in hospital. Then he came home and he's literally spent like a week and a half in bed and barely moved. So last night my nana phoned an ambulance and they finally turned up 5 hours later and took him to hospital, and we've basically spent the day, my nana at home and then me, my dad and my brother trying to get through to the fucking hospital to find out what's going on with my grandpa, because at 12 o'clock this afternoon we still didn't know if he'd made it to the hospital, if he was okay, where he was, who was with him, has he been seen to. We knew nothing. They took him away from my nana's house, from his house yesterday evening, and we heard nothing by 12 o'clock this afternoon, so we were getting pretty stressed. Eventually they phoned my nana to give her an update, and he had been seen to. That he's got like an infection, his blood sugar levels are low. He's diabetic, not type 1, type 2. But his blood sugar levels are low and he's dehydrated, and it turns out that the tablets he's been taking for years now, after he had a bypass surgery, I think it was a few years ago, the tablets that he's taking are the wrong dosage. The fact that an 81-year-old man is not having a yearly MOT blows my fucking mind. How is that not a thing? Like, my dad has a yearly MOT because he had open heart surgery 15 years ago. So he has to go and have a yearly MOT. He's got atrial fibrillation. So, you know, heart conditions run in my family. My granddad had one. My grandpa's got one. My dad's got one. My nana's not blood related. She's got one. Her son's got one. They literally run in my family. Unlike us. However, I can't help myself. However, it blows my fucking mind that it's not a thing that an 80-odd-year-old man doesn't have a yearly MOT, or, you know, 2 yearly MOT. He's been taking these tablets for years. He's lost a shit ton of weight over the last few years, and all of a sudden, he was in hospital 5 days, he was in hospital a week and a half ago, and all of a sudden the hospital like, oh yeah, look at that, the tablets he's on aren't right. They're not the right dosage. They've been draining him of nutrients and, you know, all the good stuff. And I'm like, what in the fuck? He's been taking these tablets for years. Why has nobody been checking this? Like, an absolute disaster. I take my hat off to the NHS, I really do, because 9 times out of 10, they get it right. But just one of these things is just, I just don't understand how old people are walking around they could have gone years having not seen their doctor. They could be taking the wrong tablets constantly. I don't understand how someone's not monitoring it. I literally don't get it. Anyway, he's fine. He's in hospital. He's going to be there for a few days while they pump him full of good stuff again and hydrate him again and make sure that he's okay before sending him home. But yeah, it was very stressful. What we thought might be touch and go for a hot minute there, but as far as I'm aware, he's okay. So it's been a stressful couple of days, and I just wasn't in the right headspace to go on sprints tonight. So I have done a little bit of reading on my own at home. I've watched a little bit of BookTube. I think I'm going to go up to bed actually and do a bit more reading in bed. But I wanted to update you, let you know what's been going on, why I didn't appear on sprints this evening when I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be hosting them, to be honest, but I'm not in the right headspace. I'm not. So yeah, but I finished a book, the first book for Sprintathon. I even had a mild panic this afternoon that I might not even finish a book this week, because I haven't been sleeping either very well. I was working till 3 o'clock this morning, and then I overslept this morning, then stressed because I was meant to be picking my brother up from home to take him to work. It was a nightmare. The night before I was still awake at 4 o'clock. So I've been having not very good sleep. I'm very, very tired, but for some reason just cannot fall asleep properly. Well, it's because I'm worried. But anyways, The first book that I've managed to finish for Sprintathon has been Diddly Squat by Jeremy Clarkson. I really enjoyed this. I loved Clarkson's Farm that came out on Amazon Prime last year or earlier this year. I can't remember. I'm really hoping we get a season 2. I'm fairly certain we're going to. Caleb was the star of the show 100%. But I really enjoyed this. This, I think I've already mentioned, is basically a collection of Jeremy's newspaper articles that he did over the course of his year working on the farm, whilst he was also filming Clarkson's Farm. He was doing newspaper articles, and this is just a collection of those articles. I'm going to assume there may be a follow-up from this, because it kind of not ended on a cliffhanger, but he's going to continue working on the farm. So why would he not continue writing articles? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, I don't know, but I enjoyed this. This was good. It's very, very similar to Clarkson's Farm, so if you've watched that, maybe you might not be bothered about reading this, but it does delve into a little bit more information on why he has done some of the things he's done. So he can give you a bit more information. I would recommend the audiobook because he narrates it himself, and you do get extra little bits, you get like tractor noises, and he adds the odd little joke in here and there or whatever, or the odd little comment or whatever. But I did enjoy this. I gave it 5 stars. I really loved Clarkson's Farm. I have really gotten into like being more interested in farming and agriculture and that industry as a whole, and this has come about in the last couple of years. So I watch SAS Who Dares Wins when it's usually on, and the last one that I watched, I can't even remember who won it in the end, but Mark, Esme, and also Hannah were in it. They were some of the people that were in it. So if you watch SAS Who Dares Wins, you'll know what season I'm on about. I'm not sure specifically which season it is, but Mark was my favourite, and I loved Esme as well, and then they became really good friends. I don't know if they had a bit of a romance afterwards or whatever, but Hannah was in that one, and she is Red Shepherdess essentially on Instagram. So I ended up following her on Instagram, became entirely obsessed with who she is as a person and what she's doing for the farming industry, and also for women within the farming industry, and the inspiration she is to young girls as well. And just as a whole, I became obsessed with her. I think she's awesome. I just think she's a really great person. She wrote her own book, Call Me Red, which I have read, and I absolutely loved it. Again, listen to the audiobook because she narrates it herself. She didn't go into a studio to narrate it. Her and Danny, her now husband, set up a tent, a soundproof tent essentially in her house. By a tent, I mean a blanket fort, and she recorded it in there, and I just adore her as a human being. I have bought some of her merch previously. I chat with her, not regularly, but we have chats on occasion on Instagram, and I just think she's an all-round great person. And I watched this year on her Instagram stories, especially in spring, like the whole lambing season, and became entirely obsessed with it. It's fascinating. And yeah, I just think she's a great person, and all-rounder. She's fantastic. And then Clarkson's Farm came out, and I was really nervous because I've gotten really invested into the whole farming industry and agriculture and all of this. Like, I've gotten really invested, and I thought, fucking hell, Jeremy Clarkson's going to take the royal piss out of this now and just make out like farming's one of the easiest industries to be in, blah blah blah. It's absolutely not. And he didn't. Yes, it's funny, and yes, he takes the piss sometimes, but he also takes it extremely seriously, and I just feel like the program is incredibly knowledgeable, and I think that it gives us a great insight into why farming is not an easy job, why people seem to think farming's an easy job. I have no idea, but why farming isn't an easy job. It's not incredibly profitable. Some people seem to have this wild notion that all farmers are like rolling around in heaps and heaps of money. That's not the case, and it's a realistic approach at getting into farming as a newbie, and I just thought it was really, really good. I thought it was incredibly eye-opening, and I thought it was very informative, and I think he did a really good job. So this does delve into that a little bit more, and I would recommend, if you were interested in Clarkson's Farm and you enjoyed it and you want to hear a little bit more on his thoughts on the reasons why he did certain things and get a few more facts, if you've gotten into the whole farming industry and agricultural side of things like I have, you might like this one. It's not very long. The audiobook is very short indeed, and obviously Clarkson narrates it himself. So I gave this one 5 stars, thought it was fantastic. Again, if you want more agricultural type stuff as well, or you want the backstory of someone as a woman in the farming industry, I would say that Hannah's book is fantastic. It's called Call Me Red, and she's called Hannah Jackson. So I would highly recommend that book. Especially to anybody that's thinking about getting into the farming industry, especially women, and just in general, actually, as a boost for women, because she's fantastic. She's in an not all male, but a male dominated industry like I am in construction, and I just think that she is an incredible inspiration as a whole, to be honest. She came from Liverpool with no farming industry, no farming knowledge, background or anything. It just happened on a whim. It was almost pure accident that she ended up falling into farming, and it's phenomenal what she's done and how far she's come. So yes, I would recommend that. And then I decided to pick up Guild by Raven Kennedy. This is my next book for Sprintathon. I have started it a little bit. I'm not too far. I'm 5 pages in. My tea was ready. So yeah, I am hoping to make some more progress on this tonight, maybe get a few more chapters in. Hopefully. I think I'm going to go up to bed though and read for a little bit in there. But yeah, this is the King Midas reimagining. So I think I have already in the introduction told you what this book is about briefly. So once I know more about it, I will let you know. But it has started off essentially with an orgy. Our main character, whose name we still don't know, is essentially having to watch this orgy from her gold birdcage. She's dressed in gold and everything is in the room is gold, and King Midas is having an orgy, and yeah, it goes straight in. So that's what she said. So it's disgusting. So yeah, I'm gonna go and read a bit more of this, and I will catch up with you, and I've got an update for you. Yeah, I'm gonna go and give this a bit more of a read, and I will check back in with you later. Thursday. Hello team, it is Thursday. Fairly certain it's Thursday. Anyway, it is. It's Thursday and it's 6:10. Just put my tea in the oven and G is about to do some sprints, so I'm gonna hop on those in a second, try and get some reading done. But I wanted to give you a quick update and also let you know some book mail that I've had this morning. I have had some other books come in the last couple of days, but I'm gonna put those in my Christmas unboxing video at the end of the year, because they have been pre-orders and also a Fairy Loot one. But this has been gifted to me by the publisher, so this has come from Quercus, so thank you to them for gifting me this one. And it is Lucy Diamond's new book, which is Anything Could Happen. Your Big Secret is out, what next? This does come out on the 6th of January 2022, and it does look like this. It is very, very beautiful cover. And it's set in New York. Veronica Henry is one of my favourite authors, actually. Truly touching, she's put on the front of this. So the information sheet says, a chance encounter in New York City, a great love story on the cusp of the beginning, and then he was gone. For Laura and her daughter Eliza, it has always been just the two of them, but when Eliza turns 18 and wants to connect with her father, Lara is forced to admit a secret that she's been keeping from her daughter her whole life. Eliza needs answers, and so does Lara. Their journey to the truth will take them on a road trip across England and eventually to New York, where it all began. Dreams might have been broken and opportunities missed, but there is still surprises in store. Anything Could Happen is a warm, wise, funny and uplifting novel about love, second chances and the unexpected and extraordinary paths life can take us down. It sounds fantastic. I love New York. I love that it starts off in England. I love that this is a mother-daughter relationship and love could be involved as well. So I'm really excited about this one. Like I say, it does come out on the 6th of January. And thank you again to Quercus for sending me a copy of this. I really do appreciate it. As far as reading's concerned, my battery's dying. So as far as reading's concerned, I have been reading Guild, not a lot, because I've been really busy in my evenings. So I am still only 47 pages into this one. I am enjoying it so far. It started with an orgy, which I wasn't expecting. So I don't know where we go from here, but so far it's going fine and I'm enjoying it. And then very quickly, I also did start Under the Whispering Door yesterday while I was at work. It was very quiet at work. My brother was working upstairs, he's dead busy, so was my dad, and my mum was out all day, so I was sat on my own for a good portion of the day yesterday. So I thought I'll start listening to Under the Whispering Door, see how far I get with it. And I did manage to get to page 111 yesterday, but then I have listened to another chapter today, which was a long one. It was like an hour long, and that will have taken me to page, where are you? Yeah, there, 140. So that's where I'm up to, and so far I am really enjoying this. Someone said to me that this is a little bit like a Christmas Carol reimagining. In a way, it kind of reminds them of that, and I entirely understand where they're coming from with it. Wallace is a bit of an arse, and I don't like him to begin with. But we are getting to a point now where he's kind of changing a little bit and having to see the error in his ways when he was alive. And I really love Hugo. I think he's fantastic, and I think his granddad is awesome. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I think we're getting to a point now where there could be a bit of a romance ensuing in here, which I am here for, despite the fact that the realms of possibility may not quite be there. But I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm looking forward to reading more of this. So I am hoping to read a bit more of this evening maybe, but maybe I should also focus on Guild as well. So we'll see how far I get through either of these tonight. But yeah, that's what I'm currently reading at the moment for Sprintathon. Yeah, that's going to be my evening, so I will check back in with you when I've got an update for you. Saturday, and it's around 6:10 in the evening, I think. Last night I did go out for a little bit. I went to go and see the boy. It's been a very tough week mentally with family problems and stuff, and he'd had a shit week at work, so I just really wanted to see his face, to be perfectly honest. Mush. But yeah, I went out for, I didn't drink, I was driving, but I did stay over at his. So we've been watching movies today, and then I did come back to get my nails done, and I'm loving them. They are adorable. This little reindeer is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life, and well, not quite, because Thomas, you know, but yeah, I love them. So now it looks like I'm having a quiet night in, which I am looking forward to be fair. I would really like to get some reading done, so I thought I would give you a quick update before I start doing that, let you know what my plans are. I've no plans for tomorrow either. I do need to get some editing done, maybe some filming. I don't think I need to do any filming, but possibly some filming, we'll see, but definitely editing. But again, I think it will just be like a pretty good reading day, hopefully. I did pick up a book yesterday while I was in the supermarket, and I did get The Arctic Curry Club by Danny Red. I have seen this flitting around a little bit, and I do have an e-arc of it on NetGalley, but I wanted to get a physical copy because honestly the cover for this is stunning, like really cute and pretty, so I wanted to get a copy of it. And I would kind of like to pick this up this weekend, to be fair, but I do have two other books that I need to make priority because it is still Sprintathon. I am halfway through them both, so I'm gonna put this on my shelves for the time being, and I may come back to it next week or the week after, before the end of the year possibly. But the two books that I am currently reading, I am currently reading Under the Whispering Door, for a hot minute my head entirely emptied. Under the Whispering Door, I have took the dust jacket off. This is the Illumicrate special edition, which is beautiful, and I am currently 174 pages into this, and I'm really enjoying it. It's very good. It's cute and adorable. TJ Klune yet again is nailing it. So I don't think I'm going to like this one as much as House on the Cerulean Sea, because I really did fall in love with that book, but I am still really enjoying it. It's adorable. So I am wanting to finish that this weekend. And then I also would like to finish Guild by Raven Kennedy this weekend. I haven't read any more of this since I started it the other day, so I am still on page 47. But yeah, I would like to finish this one as well. So I think I might try and make this a priority, because it is a Patreon pick as well, and I am doing a separate reading vlog with spoilers for that one, but for this one, sorry. So I think I might try and make this a priority. I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done tonight. I would love to stay up late and do some reading, but I am still a bit tired from being out last night. Not only that, but I do have a bit of a headache as well. I mean, I wasn't drinking, so I'm not hungover. I've just got a rotten headache, and I think it's just the stress from this week. So I'm just going to see how it goes. I have just ordered an ice cream sundae from Sweet Tings, so I'm going to chow down on that once that gets here. And until that gets here, I'm probably just going to watch some reading vlogs, because once I start, I can't read and eat at the same time. So I will read once I've finished eating that. But I think that's my plan for the rest of the evening. So I'm going to go try and get through as much of these two as I possibly can for the rest of the evening. And I will give you an update when I have something to update you on. Okay, good evening. It's later on. Here's what's up. I haven't read any more of Under the Whispering Door, but I have been reading more of Guild, and I'm now 131 pages in. So I was on page like 40 odd, 47, and I'm now 131 pages in. So not quite 100 pages, but I am thinking that I'm going to DNF this. I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm entirely, I've got a mix of feelings actually. I'm entirely bored. Nothing has happened so far other than attempted rape, an orgy, and just a fucking lot of manipulation and Stockholm syndrome-ness. So I'm not enjoying this at all. Not only is our main character Arden quite flat, I hate King Midas, and I feel incredibly uncomfortable with what's going on in the book. I believe that the second one is a lot better, and then the third one's better again, but I just don't think I care enough right now to even want to continue on with this series. I don't even want to continue on with the book. I'm not enjoying it, so I'm going to sleep on it. I've done a poll on Instagram, and I'd be really interested to see what other people's opinions are, because I've been scrolling through Goodreads reviews as well. When I get like this, especially with popular books, I do find myself questioning why I'm DNFing the book, especially if I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes I need to see somebody else's negative review to to fully put my thoughts into words sometimes. So I had a quick butcher's, and it turns out this is a huge mixed bag of 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s and DNFs. So it looks like I'm not going to be completely in the minority, but I'm just struggling, and there are a whole other bunch of books that I would much rather read this towards the end of the year. I would just rather not waste my time trying to get through the last 150 pages of this book, because there's other books I could be picking up. And also, I believe that it gets very heavy towards the end as well, as far as like the whole, sexual assault and attempted rape's concerned. I believe that that goes the furthest step it can possibly go. So, I don't wanna. So for the time being, I'm putting it down. I might try and pick it back up again tomorrow and try and finish it off tomorrow, but for the time being, I'm putting it down. What would make sense is for me to pick up Under the Whispering Door, but I'm not going to do that because I really want to read Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I've been wanting to read this for ages now, actually, and I have been, that's one of Jade's read with me videos finishing. I've been wanting to read this for ages now, and I didn't get a chance to pick it up last week for Festive Readathon, so I want to try and pick this up now, because if I do DNF Guild, I can read this for an intimidating read. It's not that intimidating, but I am nervous because, well, everybody's loved it, and I obviously dislike a lot of popular books, but I love Tessa Bailey, so this could also be an anticipated read, to be fair. And I have already said, I'm fairly certain I've already said that I am intimidated a little bit by Under the Whispering Door, because I was nervous about whether or not it was going to be, you know, live up to the power of Cerulean Sea. So these are interchangeable now, but yeah, I kind of want to start this. It's not that long, as she says that, but it's also a physical read because there's no audiobook. It's 248 pages, so I'm kind of wanting to start this now and see how far I can get through before I go to bed. I don't anticipate me being up too late because I am incredibly tired. But yeah, I kind of want to start this. I've also just seen that Aaron's just rated this from Booked and Busy 5 stars as well, so which has hyped me up a little bit more as well. I was going to pick up Beasts and Beauty by Saman Chainani, but I've decided to go for this instead and try and maybe save Beasts and Beauty for next week, for Christmas week possibly. So yeah, gonna pick up Window Shopping and give that a read instead, and I will give you an update probably tomorrow, let you know what I've decided to do with Guild, let you know how this is going, and hopefully tomorrow I will finish this and Under the Whispering Door and either DNF or hopefully finish Guild as well. We'll see. Maybe I won't get any editing done tomorrow, who the fuck knows. But yeah, that's my plan. So I'm gonna go. Just wanted to give you an update on Guild and let you know what I was about to pick up now. And up for Sprintathon. I feel like I didn't have a great reading week, although I did finish 3 books. Was it 3? 2 books. I finished 2 books, but I got halfway through 2 more. So let's go through with you what I did read. So for the book that's under 300 pages, I did read Diddly Squat by Jeremy Clarkson. This is a collection of short stories, well, a collection of pieces of work that he was writing for a newspaper while he was doing his year on the farm that went out in the newspaper or a magazine, wherever it was, and it's a collection of those thrown together. And essentially, if you've watched Clarkson's Farm season 1, this is his year on the farm, but explained a little bit more. You know, you get a little bit more description in it, and the audiobook is really, really good. Jeremy narrates it himself. It's very, very good, very informative. I think I banged on enough about this at the beginning of this reading vlog, but I really enjoyed this and I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. Then I did finish Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I don't know why the bookmark's still in there. I did finish this off though, and I had a really good time with it. I really, really enjoyed it. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It was very good. I really enjoyed the romance in here. I did find it maybe a little bit insta-lovey, but I did really enjoy it. The smut in here, yet again, as always with Tessa Bailey, was top tier, and I would recommend if you're looking for like a smutty winter Christmas read. It was very, very good indeed, and I really, really enjoyed myself with this. I also enjoyed that the main character in here, Stella, is actually an ex-con, and it's almost like a redemption story. I really, really enjoyed that factor, and I liked that she wasn't being judged by the guy in here who is called Aiden, if I remember correctly, which, yes, Aiden, which I couldn't stop thinking about the Illuminae files for, which is ridiculous because Aiden was a murderous robot. A murderous AI, essentially, in the Illuminae files. So it's not very often I come across Aiden's, clearly. But I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed all the aspects of it. I thought it was very well done, and I did have a good time with it. So 4 stars for this one. And this also completes the prompt for an anticipated read, because I was anticipating this one. The other book that I was meant to be reading for anticipated read is Under the Whispering Door, which I did get to page 193 of, but I did end up putting it down just on the basis that I was struggling quite a lot with the elements of grief in here and loss. If you've been here for a while, or even just the last couple of months, you will know that I did lose 2 friends at the end of November, and I have also in the last week and a half been having some struggles with a grandparent as well. So it's looking better, which is great news, but it's been a very, very long week and a half and it's been exhausting, and it was touch and go for a hot minute there. So this has not been it's not been the best time for me to be picking this up, but I am really, really enjoying it and I would recommend it, so long as you're not in the current stages of grief. I wouldn't recommend that it's a great book to be picking up for that. I am hoping to finish it off before the end of the year. I'll probably try and pick it up as like my last read for the end of the year to get it done. But if I am still struggling towards the end of the year, I will push it into next year. I want to read this when my head's in the right space, not while I am still like, because grief is a long process, but not while I'm still like in the height of it at the moment. So I did decide to put that down. And then the other book I was reading for this week, which was my intimidating read, I ended up DNFing, was Guild by Raven Kennedy. I got to page 131 before I DNF'd it. I just wasn't a fan of anything in this book, to be perfectly honest. I think the main character is quite boring. Aaron. I don't know what the point of the story is. I don't know what the plot of the story is. I don't know where it's going. I have no idea what the point is. I believe that once you get towards the end of the book, you do figure that out. But I just couldn't put myself through another page of it because I was sick to death of how disgusting the men are in this book. There was an attempted rape scene in here, so just be wary of that if that is a trigger for you. And I just wasn't a fan of it, and I have read some reviews that say that it only gets worse on that front. I have heard the second book is fantastic, much better than the first one, and I wish that I cared enough about the characters to just continue on and plow through it, but I don't, so I'm not going to. So I did DNF this one. So overall, not a great week, but it's been fine. I did get through 2 decent books that I was really looking forward to, with Diddley Squat and Window Shopping, and I've made a decent dent in Under the Whispering Door as well. It's just circumstances that mean I've had to put that down, which is okay. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Sprintathon. So essentially I failed because I did DNF my intimidating read, but it is what it is. I did have a reasonable week. It was tough with the family stuff going on. I'm really sad that I wasn't able to take part a bit more with the sprints and stuff. I was meant to be hosting the Tuesday sprints, but the week was horrific and it got away from me. So I am really sad that I wasn't able to do that, but Pris did an amazing job and I'm very, very proud of her for her first readathon. She did a smashing job. So yeah, but that is everything for this reading vlog. So I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if you took part in the Sprintathon, and if you don't want to chat to me, just leave a star emoji, any type of star emoji, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.